I'd like to start by introducing Donna Marsh O'Connor. Donna is the mother of Vanessa Langer, who died in the Tower 2 on the 93rd floor. She comes to us from New York, and please give her a warm welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. This is my motivation. George W. Bush says, God bless America. He already did. He blessed us over and over and over again. And on that day, it was men who cursed us, not God. And it has been in the hands of men ever since to investigate everything, the events leading up to, during, and the events post 9/11. I know on a daily basis the press covers the events post 9/11. But I feel, frankly, abandoned. If I question anything about the official story, I'm called a conspiracy theorist. All she ever wanted was the child who'd be walking with me 5 years old today. Roughly about the time my daughter was on the phone to her Park Avenue office, thanks to Paul Thompson, I know that is roughly the time that George W. Bush, the president of this country, walked into a school to lecture to children. He didn't rush to Command Central. He didn't order evacuations of any of our major skyscrapers, including and especially Tower 2. And all I asked for when the first news reporter from my local area in upstate New York came to tell me she was going to allow me to tell a beautiful story of my daughter, all I asked that day was, why could I not fly home from Toronto? But Osama bin Laden's family and some Saudi nationals whose names I still don't know were flown out of the country in our airspace. I was grounded. They were not. I asked her that day, where was NORAD? Where were our defense systems? And instead she told the 2 minutes of the beautiful story I told about my fierce and loving daughter. And that's what it's been like for 5 years. The first thing members of the press always ask me, and sometimes individual family members will ask me, where are the rest of the family members? Why aren't you all questioning? And I will tell you that for 5 years in my small community in upstate New York, I've been posing questions.
That's because on September 11th, his 26-year-old son Bobby was at a meeting inside the World Trade Center.
I was certainly concerned, and I sat there and watched it because I knew he worked in that area. And so I guess about 15, 20 minutes, and my wife called me, and she says, did you see what happened? But we haven't heard from Bobby. So that's when I decided nobody got upset. It's amazing, just like that. Excuse me.
In the debris of Ground Zero, young Bobby McIlvain's body was eventually found, badly burned.
Oh, he's dead. Yeah, he's found dead on arrival. So that's really, that's the first thing I talked about. That was the toughest. Because in 1 second I thought he was alive, and then boom.
In his grief, Bob McIlvain began reading everything he could about 9/11. He attended the official investigations into that day, chaired by Lee Hamilton and Thomas Kane.
We recommend the following elements for a counterterrorism strategy.
And finally, after weighing the evidence, he came to a shocking conclusion.
Well, I believe 100% and that the United States orchestrated 9/11 with the help of other agencies around the world.
You believe there are people inside the United States, inside the government, at high levels, that were involved in orchestrating 9/11?
Absolutely. I'm 100% sure.
You think your son was therefore murdered by Americans?
Absolutely.
As startling as McIlvain's allegation sounds, he's far from alone. A poll conducted by Zogby in May of 2006 found that 42% of Americans now believe the U.S. government and the 9/11 Commission concealed or refused to investigate critical evidence that contradicts the official explanation of the September 11th attacks, saying there's been a cover-up.
A much calmer situation and a much better evacuation. And these people.
My son was murdered!
Let's ask some real questions. Is that unfair? And what about the bunker? You didn't ask him about the bunker, the Office of Emergency Management bunker on fire?
We are getting ready for the next panel.
Remember this. Your government funded and trained Al-Qaeda. Repeat it again. Your government funded...
Folks, if you want to talk about the truth, day one when I was on the radio, we knew those buildings were built of asbestos. We told people to bring breathing masks down here. And they called us conspiracy theorists. They said the dust was good for the firemen and emergency workers and police. And now it's admitted that they knew it was deadly poison, and they covered it up because they could care less about these city workers. The people that carried out 9/11 are the same people that covered up the dust. Murderers! 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 Murderers!
They say they reject the findings of the 9/11 Commission. They say it's full of lies. So on the 230th anniversary of the Boston Tea Party, they joined with fellow protesters in Boston, Philadelphia, and other cities to express their dissatisfaction by throwing a giant copy of the 9/11 report into the bay. When it came time to toss the book in, however, the group decided to be ecologically responsible.
9/11 is an inside job! Why would the military-industrial complex stage 9/11? To seize trillions in oil for hundreds of billions of dollars a year in no-bid weapons contracts.